His blind date never showed up until two little twin girls ran up. They beat our mom, she's dying. The restaurant lights glowed softly against the evening rain, droplets tracing rivers down the windows as Ethan Ross sat at a small corner table, nervously checking his watch again. He was dressed in his best shirt, the one his 7-year-old daughter Emma had picked out that morning. "She'll like it, Daddy," Emma had said, grinning with missing front teeth. "You look like the prince from that movie." Ethan chuckled at the memory. He hadn't been on a date in 4 years, not since losing his wife, Clara, to a car accident that shattered more than just his family's world. Tonight was supposed to be his chance to finally try again. His best friend Mark had convinced him to meet someone, a friend of a friend, someone kind, gentle, and understanding, but an hour had passed. The seat across from him stayed empty. The waitress refilled his coffee twice. He sighed, running a hand through his short brown hair. "Guess she's not coming," he muttered, forcing a sad smile. Outside, thunder rolled. He paid his bill and stood to leave, his heart heavier than the clouds outside. As he stepped into the rain, adjusting his jacket, a small voice suddenly cried out, "Mister, help us!" Ethan froze. Two little girls, identical twins, drenched from the rain, were running down the sidewalk, barefoot and trembling. Their faces were streaked with tears and mud. "Please," one gasped. "They hurt our mom. She's dying." Without thinking, Ethan knelt. Hey, slow down. Who hurt your mom? Where is she?" The smaller twin, barely 6, pointed toward a dark alley across the street. "Back there. Please, hurry." Ethan didn't hesitate. He ran through the rain, splashing through puddles, his heart pounding. In the alley, under a broken streetlight, he found her, a woman lying motionless on the ground. Her lip was bleeding, one arm twisted awkwardly. Bruises darkened her face. Hey, ma'am," Ethan said, dropping to his knees. "Can you hear me?" Her eyelids fluttered weakly. "My girls," she whispered. "They're safe," Ethan said firmly. "You're safe now too." He pulled out his phone and dialed 911. The operator's calm voice guided him through basic first aid until sirens approached in the distance. Ethan pressed his jacket over her shoulder wound, trying to stop the bleeding. The twins clung to his arms, sobbing into his sleeves. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics rushed to help. "Domestic assault," one of them muttered grimly. "She's lucky someone found her." Ethan looked at the girls, trembling in the rain. "You're coming with me," he said softly. "I won't let you be alone." That night, while their mother, her name was Laura, underwent surgery at the hospital, Ethan sat with the twins in the waiting area. He bought them hot chocolate from the vending machine, found a blanket, and sat with them until they fell asleep against his arms. He couldn't stop thinking about how scared they must have been. About how helpless he had felt when he'd lost Clara. The ache in his chest returned, old and familiar. But this time, it came with something new, a spark of purpose. When Laura finally woke up the next morning, weak but alive, Ethan was still there. The twins ran to her bedside, crying and clinging to her. Ethan stepped back, smiling quietly. "Who are you?" she whispered. "Just a guy who was stood up," Ethan said softly. "Guess fate wanted me here instead." Weeks passed. Laura recovered slowly, her abusive husband arrested and charged. Ethan helped as much as he could, fixing things around her apartment, bringing meals, and helping the girls with their schoolwork. Emma, his daughter, and the twins became inseparable. One evening, as they all sat in his kitchen sharing dinner, Laura looked up at him with tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to thank you," she said. "You saved us." Ethan shook his head. "No. You just reminded me that life still gives second chances." She smiled. "Maybe you're my second chance too." Months later, they stood together at a park picnic surrounded by kids' laughter. Laura's smile had returned, bright, genuine. The twins chased Emma through the grass while Ethan grilled burgers nearby. He thought back to that night, the rain, the empty chair, the heartbreak. If his blind date hadn't failed to show, he never would have been there. Never would have met the two little angels who cried for help, or their mother who would one day heal his heart. As the sun dipped low, Laura came up beside him. "So," she said with a teasing grin, "ever thought about what happened to that blind date?" He chuckled. Yeah. I think she was never meant to show up. Laura looked into his eyes. Because you were meant to find us instead. The twins giggled in the distance, calling out, Mommy! Daddy! Come play. Ethan froze for just a moment, then smiled, eyes glistening. He joined them, laughter echoing into the golden sky. Sometimes, miracles don't come from the plans we make. They come from the moments that fall apart, just so something beautiful can fall into place. Moral: never lose faith when things don't go as planned, because sometimes, missed appointments lead to divine encounters that rewrite destinies. Movie camera. If this story touched your heart, hit the like button, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe for more stories that remind you hope always finds a way. Red Heart.